are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast. I'm Dylan Larck on Twitter, here to talk to y'all today about the latest Auburn athletics news. And it has been a boring couple of days since the last time we met. Only thing that's been really exciting is the transfer portal, which Auburn's landed 3 since the last time we've seen each other on Tuesday. So, just getting right into that. Auburn now at number 5 per the On3 transfer portal rankings. Picking up 10 transfers this cycle and only losing 13, so not a bad ratio right there. So look at that, guys. Auburn brought in. You got Mason Murphy, who was the first one you brought in, a USC offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman, 6'5", 290 pounds, and I mean it's a great pickup in terms of you needed offensive linemen. You had spots to fill going forward. You figured out who you're going to do at left tackle with Xavier Chaplin, and now you just need guys that you can plug in. So, given a gap year to get the younger guys in, you want the more experienced offensive lineman. Hopefully, it doesn't bite you in the butt like Percy Lewis did, but I think Mason Murphy is a great pickup overall, adding more beef to an offensive line that needs more. But yeah, I need to do more research on Mason Murphy. I didn't get what exactly part of the offensive line he played. I do know he played on the as guard. But yeah, Auburn's offensive line looking pretty good. You got Connor Liu stacking up the middle. You're gonna have Xavier Chaplin probably playing left tackle, right tackle. I think you're still looking around. Even you might be able to play Mason Murphy at right tackle, because of course you lost Percy Lewis and of course Too Tall to lack of eligibility going into next year. So yeah, Auburn's offensive line, I mean, it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good going the next year. You got a guy who at quarterback in Jackson Arnold, who didn't have the best offensive line last year, and now you get a chance to get him one that he can sit behind and make plays and make reads behind. Up next, another guy Auburn was able to pick up, Dallas Walker the fourth out of Western Kentucky, a former Texas A&M Aggie as well. Last year for the Hilltoppers, 46 tackles, had a forced fumble, and had an interception as a big boy in the middle. 6'4", 318 pound. So you're looking at getting a nose guard right there, a nose tackle, depending on which one you want to say. I typically say nose tackle. And, I mean, you're losing Jason Jones to the NFL draft. You need some extra meat up there to help close gaps. And he pairs off better than what you got from Isaiah Rakes. And you lost Gage Keys. So, given a veteran presence of the defensive line, he has 1 year of eligibility remaining, which works out well. You get a year to kind of get guys in that you want to get in while also having veteran presence. I think Jordan Crawford can also help fill out a nose tackle position, and then pairing him with, again, the two-headed monster of the Malik Mayhem of Malik Autry and Malik Blockton, who I think are going to be a great duo throughout their time at Auburn. But yeah, a really good pickup for Auburn. I think he's listed as a 4-star transfer portal acquisition, Dallas Walker, if I'm not mistaken. 3-star, okay. Regardless, a 3-star transfer to me is the same thing as like a 4-star recruit. And then last pickup Auburn made is what happened yesterday. Xavier Atkins out of LSU. I wanted to look at his stats last year. He only was at LSU for a year. He's class 2024 guy. From what I saw, he only had 1 solo tackle, and I don't think he got utilized at all. So transferring out, coming to Auburn, bringing in some potential athletic linebacker who I don't know where exactly he fits in the rotation right away, but you get an athletic linebacker who you can find a place for, and he's very excited to see what DJ Durkin will use him for, which is something you love to hear. I mean, you've only the defensive staff has only lost 1 coach, which is exactly what you want. You did not want to see the DJ Durkin staff leave. You wanted to have Durkin. You wanted Crime Dog. You wanted Charles Kelly. You wanted you wanted Josh Aldridge, but he is now going to be defense coordinator of Eastern Carolina. Can't fault him in that, but you got Von Cheryl King Williams. You got this entire staff of defensive coaches that are the best part of the team. Can't lie. So them getting excited to play for DJ Durkin is great. Xavier Atkins coming to the Tigers, former 4-star recruit. And I think he should have stayed a 4-star recruit per on 3, but, they don't count every transfer is an automatic 3-star ranking as soon as they enter the portal. So, with that being said, speaking of portal players, this half of the show is going to be about transfer portal players, whether they're coming in, leaving, or coming back. Amaris Williams has announced that he will be taking his name out of the NCAA Transfer Portal. Auburn able to reel him back in. So, I want to say everyone that I talked to about this pretty much is in agreement that Amaris was going to transfer out because of the departure of Josh Aldridge. Whenever your coach leaves, it changes everything for you. So you want to try out maybe a new landscape. But Auburn able to bring back Amaris Williams. Last year, the freshman was all over the place whenever he got in. He very limited playing time, but whenever he got in, he made a difference. 7 total tackles, half a sack. But yeah, Amaris was going to be someone who's going to get more playing time this year regardless. He begged for it in the sense of not getting on like talking to the coaches about it, but he begged for it in terms of whenever he got in, he was ready to go. There were times where he made plays where I was surprised it was him because, he's a freshman out there making plays. And Amaris is going to develop so perfectly as an edge rusher. He's going to be this rotation of like Keldrick and I believe Keyron is back, and Amaris, Jamonta Waller, Jared Smith. That rotation of guys playing on the outside of the defensive line is going to be legit. It is going to be legit, and super excited to see Amaris Williams back in orange and blue. So, yeah, super excited to see what his future holds as an Auburn Tiger, and glad we got to see him return to the team. And then last little transfer portal news before we get on with basketball. I think it would be a quick little show today. Auburn loses a couple transfer portal players since I want to say we're not losing a couple. But you lost another player from the 2023 class, losing defensive lineman Darren Reed, a guy who didn't really get the playing time. And he saw going forward that there wasn't going to be enough snaps for him. So I hate it, but I can understand why he's going to transfer out. I guess there was not really an outlet of him to get in anytime soon. So going out to find a better spot for him to utilize his talents. So yeah, best of luck to DJ Reed. As long as it's not Georgia or Alabama, good luck to you in whatever the transfer portal takes you. So, and then of course another update. Something to be funny. At least Walker White currently projected to go to the Baylor Bears, which is Auburn's season opener. Which do I think Walker White would be the starter at Baylor? No. I think Sawyer Robertson is still there. So yeah, I don't think in the slightest if he goes to Baylor, will he be the starter at Baylor. But best of luck to him if he does end up transferring to Baylor. A couple of the guys, I don't know if I mentioned a few of these guys. Micah Riley, they have his full name on here. Micah Riley has announced that he is committed to Texas A&M. Hank Brown committed to Iowa. We've been over that one before. And Antonio Kite has gone to Ole Miss, which burnt like toast at times at Auburn. And yeah, that's pretty much all the transport departures. Auburn has been quieter than what I thought it would. So yeah, only 13 transfer outs, got brought in 10 guys to the portal. So yeah, not a bad look. Got the number 5 transfer portal class in the entire college football world. Alabama, they can't help but make fun of them a little bit. Down there at 69, only bringing in 2 players to losing 15 to the portal. And of course, John Mateer, long time Auburn transfer portal target, has announced his commitment to Oklahoma after entering the portal. He entered the portal, I think, Monday. So yeah, he has committed to Oklahoma. So that does it for the football topics. Not a lot going on. No drama. NFL draft declarations. Austin Keys was pretty much the only one I saw that declared for the NFL draft. And of course, you're thinking about bringing in some more transfer portal wide receivers. Auburn currently projected to land Eric Singleton Jr. Flat out. Which Auburn does need a wide receiver in this class. I think you only need one. I don't think you need any more than that. Auburn and Eric Singleton would fill out the role that you're losing with Keandre Lambert-Smith, and then you just got to put the freeze four in to do the rest of the work. So I think it's a massive pickup if Auburn were to land him. I can't remember if he said it or not, but I thought he was going to be committing this weekend, so stay tuned for that. If he does end up, Auburn currently projected to land Eric Singleton, and again, would just be a massive, massive pickup for the Tigers, loading out this wide receiver room that is, again, one of the best in the country. Other transfer portal players Auburn is projected to land. I mean, we were on the list for offensive lineman Josh Thompson at Northwestern, but I think he's currently projected to go to Ohio State, which is with their recruiting in the portal while coaching for the college football playoff. But yeah, Clev Lubin out of Coastal Carolina, currently projected to go to Auburn, a 3-star edge rusher. And I mean, that's pretty much it out of the top 100. Another wide receiver Auburn has been getting looks from is Horatio Fields, which I think would be another good pickup if Auburn were to grab him. If you grab 2 wide receivers, I'm not going to be opposed to it. But picking up wide receivers who are going to be able to win those 80-20 balls that Hugh Freeze has talked about before. Outside of the top 100, I scrolled for a little bit. Yeah, Horatio Fields, Auburn getting a predictions from, as well as a Florida edge rusher, TJ Searcy. Auburn projected to land him as well. So a lot of projections all over the place for the Auburn Tigers. Hopefully get to see some of these guys turn those predictions into reality coming up soon. So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick little break. Let's have this break. We're going to talk about Auburn men's basketball getting their win 2 nights ago versus Georgia State. Auburn women's basketball beating Louisiana Lafayette yesterday. And then we're going to wrap up the show previewing Auburn versus number 16 Purdue this Saturday in Birmingham. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Are you tired of having to rummage through just clothes after clothes after clothes looking for something to wear? Are you tired of your friends making fun of you for your terrible fashion sense? Well, do we have the shirt for you? Go to thewarreport.com, get your laptop out and do it right now. Go to the shop and get your very own Feelin' Loopy t-shirt as well as your college loop hat, and you can get both of them for only $25 each. Plus shipping and handling, of course. But with that, now back to your regular scheduled program.
Of course, it's available on thewarreport.com with football items you can wear in your entire life. First page, college loop hat. Second page, Feelin' Loopy t-shirt. Go grab your items today. But it's only one way you can support the show, and the second best way you can support the show. The best way is by supporting all of our social media platforms by liking, following, and commenting on stuff, giving us a lot of engagement. I got a lot of engagement on Saturday because I got engaged to my now fiance. But of course, as I was saying, the best way you support the show, liking, commenting, subscribing right here on YouTube as well. Getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. I did some projections that said we're going to hit 1,000 by April 28th, which is my birthday. So wouldn't be opposed to that, but also would love it if it happened a lot sooner than 4 months from now. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all that have already liked and commented and subscribed to the channel. So thank you all again for that. 937 of y'all, of my closest friends that I love, everybody that subscribed to the channel. So with that, Auburn men's basketball, or was actually start off with women's basketball, took on Louisiana Lafayette yesterday and took them down 68-51. This game happened in Louisiana. Hopefully, I don't remember if I said where the game was or not, and if I did, I definitely have got it wrong. So Auburn still down a good chunk of their production. You're still winning games. Deona Gaston, or Deona Gaston, if you're with the commentator for this game, in 36 minutes played, shot 12 of 20 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, got 10 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and wrapped up getting the double-double by adding in 29 points as well. So 29 and 10 night for Deona Gaston, or morning, really. This game was at 11 a.m. So, yeah, overall great game from her. But she also got some production off the bench from O. 24 minutes, got 10 points and 9 rebounds, almost getting herself a double-double. Other than that, I mean, Taylon Collins got 9. Soraya Daniels got 9, who is continuing to show out as someone who Auburn can rely on whenever they don't have their scorers in. Whenever they need scorers coming off the bench, whenever the starting lineup gets all healthy, hopefully sooner rather than later. Asulia Sambane, 2 points, also had 2 steals, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds. Marshawn Bostic, 4 points, 1 block, and 5 assists, 2 rebounds. And then Jordan Hunter, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. Adding to that, Auburn gets the win 68-30. Doing it by out-rebounding Louisiana, 41-26, out-assisting them 16-2, and out-blocking them 4-0. Auburn even had more turnovers in this game and fouled more and found a way to win this game by 17. So going forward, you got 2 games left before the conference play starts in January. You get Alabama State and Norfolk State. So I honestly, I assume Auburn's going to be able to get those wins. But you need to take this time, get healthy, rest players if you need to, but you need to have your whole rotation ready to go by January 2nd versus Ole Miss. I would love to see this Auburn team ranked at some point this year, and I think it'll happen. But it can only happen if this team is healthy. So if they can get healthy sooner rather than later, then I think this team is going to be looking good going forward. So men's basketball took on the Georgia State Panthers this week. It took them down on Tuesday. This game was terrifying for one reason alone. Everyone saw it. Janai Broome got hurt. And I think there's a collective gasp across the entire state of Alabama about Janai Broome's injury. So, injury update for that. He is listed as day-to-day. He's not going to need surgery. He said it was a shoulder sprain. So, they're going to be every day looking at him like, hey, let's see how your arm's looking every day doing that. I am not opposed to the idea of Janai Broome getting a break and not playing against Purdue. Not opposed. Because here's my thing. Conference play is extremely important. And Auburn looked good without Janai Broome on Tuesday. I think it's a great opportunity to see what this team can do without Janai against a ranked opponent, because you're going to be playing a lot of those in the SEC. Because watching the Georgia State game, one guy, or not one, I don't want to say one guy stood out, but there was one MVP of this game, and that's Chaney Johnson. When Janai Broome went out 2 minutes into the game, he also got 2 points in that and 2 blocks in those 2 minutes. He was on pace for 40 blocks, 40 points. When Chaney Johnson had to step in, he played 30 minutes. He shot 12 of 14 from the field. He missed a three-pointer, which won't fault him because he also tried to break the rim several times. But yeah, 12 of 14 from the field. Scored 26 points. Had 8 rebounds. Had 4 assists and 2 steals. Chaney Johnson, masterclass. Saw this coming all along ever since he came to the Tigers. I was expecting this out of Chaney Johnson, and I'm so happy to see it happening now. Chaney Johnson, probably one of the hardest workers on this team, and super excited to see what he can do in the spotlight. Able to do that against Georgia State. With Purdue coming up, if you don't have Janai, you got Chaney Johnson. Auburn played a lot of small ball in this game versus Georgia State without Janai, but you had some guys step up. Chad Baker-Mazara, second on team in points with 19, also had 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Denver Jones had another great night shooting beyond the arc. Shot 5 of 7 for the field, had 17 points. Also combining that with some great defensive play all around. Only had one steal as the other stat, but other than that, he's an all-around defensive presence whenever he is in one-on-one. Miles Kelly, 6 points, 4 rebounds, assists, and a steal, and 2 blocks for Miles Kelly. Dylan Cardwell, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks for the fifth-year big man, or the graduate big man. Off the bench, John Pettiford put up 7 points, had 2 steals, and had a rebound. He also had 7 points out of Ja'Kai Howard, which is a great night for him. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 rebounds. We'll see a lot more of him in the rotation moving forward. James Hudson got extended minutes that night. 4 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And finally, JP Pegues finally getting on the box score. 3 points and 2 assists in his 3 minutes of play. Getting Auburn to the century mark. So super excited to see what he. Super excited to see JP finally get some momentum going his way. Definitely has been struggling ever since the season started. So hopefully get to see a lot more of him. Hopefully get to see a lot more of Janai Broome. I would love it if he was 100% healthy and he was able to go in versus Purdue and play his heart out and continue to show off that he's the best player in college basketball. But if it means getting him in the long run for the rest of the season, I'm okay with him taking a little bit of a break moving forward. But it's up to the coaching staff. If he's ready to go, he's ready to go, and I'll be happy for it. But if he is the least bit injured still, I'm not for it. Auburn finding a way to win without their best player and doing it in a dominating fashion. So, up next for Auburn this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. CST on ESPN. Auburn will be taking on the Purdue Boilermakers, 8-3 Purdue, who is number 16 in the country. Purdue coming off of a loss to Texas A&M, 70-66. Go ahead and noticing the power of the SEC. Auburn, of course, on a 3-game winning streak after losing to Duke because of the refs. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Auburn currently projected to win this game, 79% per ESPN FBI. I don't know if that plays into factor Janai Broome's health. This season for Purdue, again, they're 8-3. They've lost teams like Marquette. They've lost to Penn State. They beat Ole Miss, but they lost to Texas A&M. Stat-wise, leading their team is Trey Kaufman-Wren, who is their points leader, their rebounds leader, and then Braden Smith, one of their guards, their assistant steals leader. As a team, they shoot pretty well from the three-point line and from the field, almost taking 50% of their shots from the field and 40% of the shots from the three-point line. The team that has a lot of blocks, they average about 2 blocks a game. I say that, and then I look at Auburn, who is averaging like 7 blocks a game. Yeah, 7 blocks per game for Auburn. Steal-wise, they're a team that steals a lot, 5.5 per game. Assists, 17.2. Rebounds, 33, which Auburn's averaging 39. And points per game, they're averaging 77. Their big guy, again, Trey Kaufman-Wren, averaging 18.2 points per game, playing about 30 minutes a game. Behind him, they have a guard and Fletcher Lawyer, who is averaging 13 a game. And both those guys are shooting 50% from the three-point line. After that, Braden Smith, 13.4 points per game, averaging 42% from the three-point line, also shooting the ball very well from the free throw line, 88%. And from the field, those 3 guys all shooting above 40, some of them, and Trey Kaufman-Wren as high as 57% from the field. So, Again, it's going to be a very tough challenge for Auburn regardless. It's in Birmingham, so it's kind of a home game. But if Janai Broome plays, I'm going to give the game to Auburn. If not, I think it gets a little tougher. Of course, Zach Edey's not there anymore for Purdue, so the height difference isn't detrimental. But definitely, without Janai, this game becomes a lot harder. And you're talking about a guy who is Auburn's points, rebounds, assists, and blocks leader. And, I think with how good Auburn has been, I think they win regardless. I just think one of them is there's the Janai Broome win, which is going to be a massive win, by probably double figures. Or there's the down to the wire. This game is going to stress everybody out and give them heart palpitations without Janai Broome. So I think you're looking at one of those two. Auburn has 5 other guys averaging double figures outside of Janai Broome. Auburn's a tough team. They're a deep team. And I think that they can get this win regardless. So it's another opportunity to prove that you are the best team in the country. And doing that without your best player would be the best. Would make Auburn look even better than what they get credit for the AP poll, which is a sham. But yeah, this game's gonna be tough. It depends on Janai Broome, based on how I feel about this game moving forward. But yeah, listed as day-to-day. Doesn't need surgery, so that means he'll be back soon enough. But again, if he needs a breather, if he needs a break to get his arm back into 100% shape, take your time. Ooh, excuse me. So after Purdue, you got Monmouth to round out the season on December 30th, and after that, on January 4th, you got Missouri, who not going to be an easy team to beat. They were last year, but this year they beat Kansas. So it's going to be a very interesting game to start off SEC play. And SEC play is going to be a gauntlet regardless, because this entire conference is really, really good. So with that being said, that does it for this of the College Loop podcast. Yeah, let me know what you think of the Auburn-Purdue game in the comment section below. Do you think Auburn's going to win it? Do you think not? Do you think it'll be because of Janai Broome's health? Do you think he'll be able to play? Leave it in the comment section below. And, of course, leave your opinion on the transfer portal acquisitions. Who do you want Auburn to pick up next? And, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Liking and subscribing are the best ways to support the show. Getting so very close to 1,000 subscribers. Going from where it says the full number to just 1K would be so awesome. But, of course, show some love by subscribing. And, of course, follow us on social medias as well. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the works. All those at The College Loop. Find me as well on Twitter at AbleTank, at YABOY the Tank. And on Instagram as well at Denlark, at DYLENLARCK. And our versions of the show as well on Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. And, of course, all that being said, this watching some other College Loop podcast yet again. And, as always, War Eagle.